Okay, so now we are recording.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello, this is Hattie from Stopcock's Women Plumbers. We're talking about the WIT conference that's happening in July 2022, and I'm really happy to be talking with Ray Stafford, the chief head honcho of Williams Trade Only, and they are going to be sponsoring our speaker, which this year is Mandy Hickson. And we're really looking forward to that event. So Ray, thank you very much, and welcome to welcome. That's it. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Hattie. I'm honoured to be here.
It's so brilliant to have somebody that I personally been dealing with as a plumber for years. I've been a member of Williams Trade Only, and I found the service to be, well, second to none, to be honest. I've got to say, I have found it to be second to none. I've rung up on, in an emergency, and something's been with me within an hour from my local branch in Manchester just recently. So customer service is really important to us. So thank you for that. But let's get on to the what we're actually going to be talking about, and I just want us to do a chat, if that's all right.
Yeah, cool.
So, can you tell me in your own words, what do you think about women in our industry, and what do you think can be done? Do you think they're a good thing, or, I'm just going to let you talk.
Well, I feel a bit of a fraud, Hattie, to be honest, because the person who really should be sat here is my business partner, a lady called Rachel Moore. She and I are equal partners in Williams. You may know that the employees own a large proportion of it. In fact, all our shareholders are employees or ex-employees, but Rachel and I have this deal, and it is I do the talking and she does the work. So she probably wouldn't be comfortable with me saying so, but we probably should be asking her why she tolerates having blokes around the place rather than the other way around. And she'd probably say sometimes I need them for the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It's 50% of the population. Why on earth would you exclude from your talent pool? And we do this. It's out of habit, to be honest. So yeah, I have heard things, nonsense, to be honest, talked about things like physical strength. Well, I don't know what percentage of the nursing population is female. I expect it's probably 90%. And have you seen the weight of the kit that people and the patients that they move around under very difficult circumstances? It's just, I don't want to swear on a family show, but let's just say it's nonsense.
Yes.
And yeah, I think probably women have played a big part in the Williams background. So Rachel's mother, Janice Williams, was part of the business originally, 50 years ago when it was first set up. Sadly passed away a few years back. And it has always been a business, family businesses. Families, they're not just men, are they? Just stating the bloody obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just seems an obvious thing to me that you want 100% of the potential talent available to you.
Yeah. So why isn't it obvious to everyone then? If it's obvious to me and it's obvious to you, why isn't it not obvious to everybody?
And society's attitudes, as the history of the way that construction trades used to be, I guess. We are very conservative, a small c, stuck in our ways type conservative, aren't we, in the construction trade? So it probably changing a bit now. It was my daughter, a property owner for the first time in her 30s, up in Oxfordshire. She was looking to find a plumber, and she quite fancied having a female plumber, but the female plumber in Oxford, there's only one apparently, or there was at that time, couldn't fit her in. So they wanted, I don't know how big Oxford is, 150,000, 200,000 people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know one of the things that used to happen to me when I was on the tools on a regular basis, I'm not on the tools now, but when I was on the tools was people would say to me, if I'd say I'd be really busy, booked up for weeks in advance, and they'd wait for me.
Yeah.
And I'd also get like jibes from blokes saying, "You're taking work from me," and I'd say, "I'm not taking work from you. you can win work.
You're competing in a marketplace. There's no law that says
well,
they're
I actually never saw myself as having a competition because I was the only woman. So if anybody wanted a woman, it was me or nobody. It was
going to be you, yeah.
And I guess like your daughter, if she wants to find a woman, there's only one. So that's why we are always. Well, I speak to women coming into the industry on a regular basis, and they say, "I want to go out alone. Do you think I'll be okay?" And I'm like, believe me, within 6 months you'll be so booked that and I talk to young men as well in the industry, and they say to me, how can I I say to them, it's more important for you to stand out because there's more of you, whereas we just stand out because there's so few of us. So I mean, okay, so we're agreed we are a good thing.
Yeah, so I think we can agree on that.
We can agree on that. Okay, fantastic. That's the first step. So tell me, why did you? I mean, it's I just want to address what you said about I should be talking to your business partner. It's really brilliant. We speak to a lot of women, and women are on our side because we're all women. But it's really brilliant to have a male voice. It's very important for us, and I think for the industry, to see men saying, "What are you lot playing at? We should have more women in the industry." So that's why I was given the option of who to speak to, and that's why I wanted to speak to you, because it's nice to have men supporting us. And whenever I talk to we're always said, "Do you want to speak to our marketing manager? She's this and she's that." And we say, "Well, actually, I want to speak to somebody who makes decisions in the company, because those are the people who can effect change." A lot of people think it's a good idea, but are not in a position to actually make the changes. And that's why I chose to speak to you as a man.
Well, it's refreshing. There's not normally a shortage of middle-aged white bald men.
I know. What's it like to feel in the minority? Welcome to my world. It's also a great opportunity, though. So that's the way we'll choose to see it. Okay, so let's move on to the WIT conference. Now, I have to say, I do have a photograph somewhere, and if I'd thought about it, I would have dug it up. Williams have always given us stuff every year for our goodie bags.
Right.
And one year you gave us a whole load of Peaky Blinders peaked caps, and I put one on our dog and took a photo, and I've used it as promotion, and I'll probably use it this year. Unfortunately, the dog is no longer with us, but I do have the photo. So what has made you take that extra step and actually want to sponsor the event this year?
Well, you asked us. I think your colleague Micah asked, and she asked nicely, and it seemed a sensible thing to do. Organisations like ours have various elements to a marketing strategy. So we're always trying to reach groups of customers and potential customers who our normal marketing might miss. And I suspect that women plumbers probably fall into that category. We probably are missing them with our conventional marketing. It seemed like a fantastic opportunity. It didn't, we get opportunities like this all the time, and they get kicked around, usually between marketing and commercial people, sales development people, and perhaps me and Rachel. This one didn't get kicked around for very long. It was just, should we do this? Yeah, it looks like a really good idea. Let's do it. Yeah, okay then. I think it was as complicated as that.
I mean, I've got to tell you though, this heady figure of 1% is not really, it's not really marketing bait, is it? 1% of the population. So I kind of think there must be something more. It must be because of there must be some other reason. Because I mean, I remember speaking to somebody once, and they said, "Well, we're not supporting you because we think that we want your we know that you're 100, or you're 1,000 women out of 100,000 are actually going to change our sales figures. We're doing it because we believe that we should do it, and we believe that women need the support to be in the industry."
That's an interesting approach. I perhaps counterintuitively, I would start from the other end. One of the things that I talk about, not normally in connection with with sex-based stuff, but usually with environmental issues. Is that, say, we're a for-profit organisation. We're not a campaigning pressure group, change the world organisation. So if we get involved in something, it should meet two criteria. It should be a good thing to do, but also it should work for us commercially. So yeah, I wouldn't. This is as much about the commerciality, but now probably not tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, we were 50 years old the other day. We have quite a long-term view of the world. So if I was to go back 20 or 30 years, if I was to say I'm going to see the doctor, most people would think I was going to visit a male doctor, because certainly when I was a kid or a young man, most doctors were men. Now I believe women outnumber men in medicine. That's happened over perhaps a generation and a half. So what proportion of our customer base will be women in, I don't know, 2050? What do you reckon? That probably won't be half.
No, it probably won't be half. No, I mean, somebody did say that if we carry on at the rate we're at, in 300 years, we might be 50-50. So, you know, we do have to start speeding up a bit, I think.
These things do accelerate, don't they?
Yeah, they get to a point, don't they? And then the curve goes up.
If you're trying to run your conference in, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, would there have been the audience to come? I suspect.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's lots of other factors, you know, social media, we're all becoming a bit more visible. And I think in a way, social media is a bit of a double-edged sword, because it makes it look like there are loads of us and our percentage has hardly changed. Yeah. It's just that you can see us. Yeah.
Well, that in itself, you know, it was the early women being accepted to medical college and kind of elbowing their way on it. Against the odds, to be honest. It was quite a difficult thing to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But those first, whatever it was, few hundred, blazed the trail for what is now, as I say, pretty much a 50-50 split.
So we always I run a couple of Facebook groups, private groups for plumbers and heating engineers, and whenever they say who should I use, I've got to say, and it's not just because you're sitting in front of me, I always say go Williams.
Oh, that's kind of
because you know that I think that and to see I think that once they're in the room and they can see who's supporting, I think it will look like all the reasons why they want to believe you're there, they will believe that you're there for those reasons. And I'd really like to I hope I mean, I don't know who's coming from your organization.
No, I don't at the moment. I know that we will be there. I suspect we'll have an all-female team. I'm not certain that the comments that you've made to me today make me think actually perhaps that's a knee-jerk response that I should rethink. Hopefully we can get, so we have, it's in merchanting as well, it is similar. So out of 45 branch managers, 3 of them, so you know, a bit better than 1%, but not miles better. 3 of them are women. It's a little bit more women represented in the more senior ranks of the administrative side of the business, and one of our 4, I think what most people call regional managers, one of them is female. 25% there. Yeah. So, and I'm hoping to recruit from, you know, that they will naturally tend to come. But if you would like me to I can't promise to come myself, because I think my diary is a bit tied that week's July, isn't it?
Yeah, July the 6th, I believe.
Yeah. But I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a really brilliant event, because obviously it's the first time after the pandemic we're all going to be in the same room again. Normally what happens during the day is there's an introduction from me. It's a timetable day. So everybody turns up, they all have their slots where they all, tables where they all can set up stuff. So if you've got anything that you want to bring along, you'll have a table. But Micah will be sending out all the stuff about what's expected from the sponsors.
Your keynote speaker sounds really interesting as well.
Yes, she is. Mandy. She was one of the very first women to fly a bomber. Yeah. And one of the first women, I think, to command a squadron of men so she actually saw action, and she had to fight to
I bet she did.
in there. She was, I think she was one of the 3 who managed to make it. And we've been trying to get her to come and speak since the beginning, and she's never been available. And I wrote to her personally and I said, please come, we've been trying to get you. She's like, I'd love to do it. So so it's really brilliant. All we needed to do was find somebody to support her to come, and thank you very much. Williams has stepped into the breach. So I'm really looking forward to meeting her, because what we like to do is we like to have a speaker that's not within our industry.
Yeah.
Because we tend to find that the stories of overcoming adversity and all of that is quite similar to all the things that we've had to overcome. And a lot of women afterwards, they always say, that speaker has really inspired me to just keep going. There isn't a single one of us women in this industry who hasn't thought, why am I doing this? I should just give up. I'm telling you, there isn't a single one of us who haven't thought that, because it's, we've been trolled on Twitter, or we've had gangs of blokes picking on us, or we've had people telling us that we can't do the job, or we've had, all sorts of things thrown at us, which I've got to say, I don't think men get that.
No, I don't. I think you're right.
They don't receive that, and they don't understand it, because they don't receive it,
and
they don't get it.
With respect to male plumbers everywhere, I have seen them do some shocking work.
Yeah, and that's why we train, like, Billy-O, to make sure that we know the inside and outside of everything before. I mean, I do a lot of mentoring, and I'd get a phone call and it'd say, right, I'm going to this job and I want to know all the things that I might come up against. So I'm sitting in Yorkshire talking to someone in Weymouth saying, well, I don't know, you're going to have to, you just have to take the plunge, so to speak.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I'm going to leave the last words to you. Anything that you want to say, anything that maybe what we can do is have another conversation after the event, and maybe you'll get some feedback from your people who come, and we can have another conversation afterwards, because there are some schemes that we want to set up. One of the schemes we want to set up is this. I'll just tell you this now. It's not for now conversation, but it's to do with creating allies.
Yeah.
And we've already approached Installer Magazine about it. We want to create an allyship scheme, and we want male allies to sign up to it, so that we know, so that anytime a woman comes across somebody, maybe they're wearing a badge or something, and it will say, and it will just let them know that they are an ally, and they're not going to be one of these ones that are going to do unspeakable things.
I am not a troll.
Yeah, I'm not a troll. Yeah. So we'll have another conversation perhaps after the event, and it'll be really great to continue a relationship with Williams on a regular basis. I'd love that. But for now, Ray, over to you.
Oh, Hattie, I wish you'd given me notice you were going to do this. Well, firstly, obviously, I wish you every success for the conference. I hope it goes fantastically well. I wish I could be there. I hope the Williams team are as supportive as they can be. I'm sure they will be. But if I had a message, I guess you said earlier that every woman in plumbing that you know has had moments when they've just thought, why don't I just kick all this in and give it up? Don't, stick at it. You're the trailblazers. In years to come, I was talking about doctors and the world of medicine earlier. In years to come, we'll look back on these days and go, can you believe that only like 1% of plumbers were women? God blimey, you will be the people who broke through and made those changes. So yes, stick at it.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording, if I can. Stop the recording.